Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome to a new Steel Division League cast today. We're following up on the best of three between Gonzo versus US Prester John. This is Steel Division League Season 3, Division 1 and the semi-finals. If you didn't watch the previous game, I recommend you go back and check it out because spoilers from this point onwards. So, Gonzo did win the first game of the engagement between the two, so a victory for Gonzo today would see him through to the finals. US Prester John needs to win both of the next two matches if he is to progress forwards. And a really interesting call from Gonzo on the left-hand side today in red. He is playing the 29th Tank Corps. I can't even remember the last time someone played 29 Tank Corps in a competitive match. I think this is the first time I've cast them all season. And yeah, possibly even the first time they've been played all season. It's not like they're a terrible division. They've got IS-2s. So they can't really be a terrible division. But it just seems to lack something. They just seem to lack something. So, 29th Tank Corps, Gonzo, he's playing flatline income, he's got those Resvedkas, they're all in A phase, and the Su-57. He's got 85 units of infantry, and it will be interesting to see how this progresses forwards, because he has upvetted some strokey SVTs in there, and after Machikas, but I feel like we're starting to see a little bit less infantry. I feel like we're just maybe starting to see a bit less infantry. This is old patches as well, remember. 29 tanks in total, mostly T-34-85s. Let's have a look. We've got 6 T-34-76s. We've got... Wow, the game's kicked off. I've not even seen the other deck yet. Let's just jump straight over. You've had enough of Gonzo playing the 29th Tank Corps. On the right-hand side, US Prester John, he's playing the 3rd Armoured Spearhead. And we know most of the units in this deck, so I'm not too fussed about covering this very quickly. 51 units of infantry, so yeah, Gonzo doesn't have to engage massively infantry on infantry. The M1 guns will be very important. The Shermans, of course, always important. Those Jumbos... I think that's why Gonzo might have picked the IS-2s, because they can deal with the Jumbos fairly effectively. And, wow, yeah, let's just see how this game goes. US Prester John continuing on his usual Maverick income. So, recap, left-hand side, Gonzo playing the 29th Tank Corps, he's in red playing flatline income. US Prester John on the right-hand side in blue, he's playing the 3rd Armoured Spearhead on Maverick income. Looks like the engagement might be in this early town, a couple of PTRS-41s on load, but no engagement in there. Half-track does push forwards though, which could get taken out by the PTRS-41. Not... I didn't think that was going to be in range, unless that's must be firing at the half tracks here. That is a really strange engagement. Anyway, the M8s open up, wow, onto a hell of a lot of Tanker Thessaloniki just moving forwards on foot. Really strange. What a strange start to this match. But US Prester John gets the 13-11. I think it's courtesy of this central hill flag with the 2 flamethrowers in there. Gonzo being fairly defensive early on, apart from in this centre town where he does start to push forwards. He does have troops lined up on the edge of the forest. This is where he's using the main bulk of his forces, the strokey SVTs, and may well be a pitched engagement between those and the engineers a little bit later on. We do have an off-map coming in from US Prester John. I think that's going to be out of range to hit those troops. Kind of surprised he didn't move forward to the edge of this forest here. So, a quiet start. Just a quiet start from both players, really. We do have a bazooka and some engineers moving forwards up north. Gonzo, not many defences up north. T-34-85 now getting involved. And I believe that's probably was firing at the infantry that was in this position here. Flamethrower does come in, but the engineers might go down here. There are a lot of troops, and if US Pressure John doesn't hit them with something, perhaps an off-map, perhaps a bombing strike, then they are going to push forwards into the position. I feel like Gonzo can pick up this flag. US Pressure John does start to move forwards up north. That is where the off-maps go in. The half-tracks break through the cover of the light forest. One of the M42 guns engaging, but they are going to get out of line of sight now. The engineers push forwards, pick up the flag. Very nicely done from US Pressure John. Gonzo engaging. The PTRS is taking shots at the half-track, but I like the way the half-tracks moved around the side of the cliff there to get line of sight. The T-34-76 coming into play. I think the half-track moved back there because of the PTRSs firing at it. The M8 still firing at the infantry pushing forward. Stroke SVT pinned down, but Tango Thessaloniki almost making it. Almost making it. And they do now get into play. Should take out the Ognamachiki with that Molotov cocktail. But Gonzo pushes back again and is having to fall his troops back. The 50 cal and the M8 just enough. Here comes the off-map up north. Stroke SVT did push forward. There is that pitched engagement that we expected. And actually, they've done it just at the perfect time to get ahead of that off-map. And, ooh, but Gonzo calling them back. Interesting decision. Yeah, interesting decision, I think. He is reinforcing with Tanko Thessalonikis, although I think they're going up north to try and tackle the bazooka and the engineers. Gonzo won't know exactly what's there, but perhaps he feels like there is a bit of a force in there. A20C Boston is going to target the something in here. Not exactly sure it is, which one it is. I think it's a 1,000-pound bomb coming down onto the M1 gun and absolutely demolishes it. The M8 goes down there to the T-34-76 in the town as well. Gonzo making a few kills. M15 CGMC coming in here. US Pressure John does bring in that anti-air to counter the A20C Bostons. They are pretty good playing those A20C Bostons. They can take a lot of punishment. And Gonzo does pick up the flag on the hill once again and pushes forwards onto the flamethrowers. May well be able to defeat them. T-34 pushing forwards as well. So Gonzo not resting on his laurels right now. But he is 13-11 down. T-34 is coming up north. Engineers get to the edge of the forest here, which is an interesting play. We don't see that too often, that infantry comes out to this edge of the forest, and yeah, I think that's why, because it's kind of easy to push them back, and I think US Pressure John has really cost himself there, because he's basically lost 2 engineer squads. I think he was pursuing the Strokey SVTs. Ooh, does pin down that unit, but didn't manage to get the kill, and the P-51D will need to retreat at some point. US Pressure John microing elsewhere for now. There is a second T-34, T-34-85 in here now from Gonzo. And I think he's picked this division for this map because there are a lot of long-range engagement. So the T-34-85s can do very well against the standard Shermans, and the IS-2s can do well against the Jumbos. So a really interesting choice of division, and we'll see whether it works out for Gonzo. But for now, the M4A1 is forced back. And the CGMC is in a little bit of trouble here. It's quickly reversing back. I think it's just going to get out of... No, it goes down there to the T-34-76, and that might turn out to be quite a big kill for Gonzo. M1 gun going to unload. It's going to take shots at the T-34s. And it's interesting who's going to get the kills here. This is quite an important engagement. The Jumbo should be okay to soak up the damage, but it's... Yeah, it is the one that's being focused. No, the T-34-76 back here is firing on the M4A1. The infantry is now pushing forwards. Obviously, all of the supporting fire from US Pressure John's units are focused on the T-34s right now, so the infantry can push forwards unopposed. P-39N Cobra coming in to try and hit that M1 gun. Ooh, almost getting into a head-on with the P-51D. Going to be an interesting engagement between these two planes. The P-39N does have the 30 mil nose cannon. The M1 gun does go down. Oh, is that... Oh, I thought that P39 was about to get on that P51D. US Presser John drops an off-map on the position. He knows he's going to lose his engineers. It's just a matter of time, so I think that's a reasonable call for him to do that. But Gonzo going 2-2, brings his Cobra, micros it across, watches the P51 follow, and then brings in the fighter variant of the P59... The P39 Q-15 Cobra. Can it get the shots on? It can. And it did get the kill there. Just went out of our line of sight. And the M8 goes down as well. 12-12. Jumbos and Sherman still engaging. Losing the M1 gun is a bit of a loss. And I'd like to see US Presser John replace it with something, but he is now bringing in the Jumbos. This is A phase, so I believe he only gets 2 Jumbos per card in A phase, so... Gonzo might choose to push elsewhere, but he's definitely secured the centre town. The off-map is going off, but it won't get the kills. It will just pin down the units. It'll be interesting to see what happens here as well with... Gonzo's forces, because he has a number of tanks here and he could legitimately just drive up this cliff and take out the entire supporting units behind the lines of US Presser John quite easily. It all depends on this Gonzo and this, oh sorry, on this Jumbo and this M4A1. Jumbo can sit there all day long though, but actually it's nearly out of ammunition, only 8 shells left on it. So, yeah, he can sit there all day long, but it can't fire back all day long. Is this Gonzo's tactic? To just wear out the ammunition of that Jumbo? It may well be. It may well be Gonzo's tactic. Tanko Disaniki behind the lines, trying to spot this bazooka. It has got all the way through. He's bringing in Razvedka himself, I think, to try and help with that task. Don't know whether a unit went down somewhere that alerted him to the position of those bazookas, but it's a nice move from US Presser John if he can get away with it. Armoured Rifles now pushing forwards on foot, trying to retake the position. They have retaken the flags, and that's probably the important thing. Half track goes down to the T-34-85. Everything's still firing at that Jumbo. The T-34s are out of APCR ammunition though. One of them is. The other one could... Well, no. It can't even penetrate with the APCR. Another A-20C Boston Strike coming in and hitting the M1 gun up in the northern side. US Presser John really has this position locked down, but I think Gonzo's missing a bit of a trick here by not pushing these T-34s along this cliff and then up into this position. That would be beautiful to see that happen. Is the Jumbo finally out of ammunition? It's got 1 shot remaining, but actually US Presser John's turned the gun off. He's turned the gun off so as not to waste that 1 shot. And he's just using HE now to fire on the infantry. Oh no, sorry, he's using HE to fire on the tanks. That's what it looks like. It looks like Gonzo's backing off his forces. I think we have headed into B phase, so... Is he back? I think he's backing this away because of this Jumbo down here. The M4A176 is the important thing for US Presser John. He really needs to get those guns blazing because these can do the job. 130mm of penetration, 6 rounds a minute, accuracy 40%. They're just much better penetration than the main Shermans. So that 76mm gun needs to get into action. Gonzo's got the 1311 right now. He has picked up this flag here. Rifle BAR are pushing forwards against the stroke. Looks like the Jumbo on fast move forwards, trying to close the distance to get those kills. He could well find himself getting side shot though at some point. The T-34-76 moves into this kind of position, and then we've got more down in the south that perhaps could get some kind of line of sight on this area. He could get side shotted. P-39N trying to get rid of the armoured rifle BAR in there. I don't think... Oh, he did actually pick up sight of them at the last minute and did manage to hit the target. Another P-39N coming in to hit the M1 gun. So Gonzo really focusing on those M1 guns. Here comes the IS-2. The first IS-2 onto the field. IS-2 Conrotti. And that can stand up to certainly all of the Shermans put in its way. Apart from the Jumbo. The Jumbo will still outlast it at least at 2 kilometer max range. P-39N went down there to the M15 CGMC. The M15 is really quite a good AA weapon. After Machiki pushing through the forest, do manage to destroy the armoured rifles. There were a lot more infantry in here. And Gonzo coming in, trying to finish the job off with that 30mm cannon. But he is finally forced back. Might actually use a second Cobra here. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he did that. Bearing in mind his first one went down. I don't think he saw the first one go down. Because that did seem like an odd move. Leaves that M1 gun still alive, but only one man left. M4A1 engaging. Reverses the T-34-76, pushes forwards the IS-2 Conrotti. One of them did go down there. One of them did go down. One thing he has to worry about is that IS-2 doesn't have a hell of a lot of... wow, look at that. Doesn't have a hell of a lot of ammunition, but he already has a Studebaker in here that's been... Actually, wow, yeah, really good choice there. He's brought that in to reload the APCR ammunition on the T-34-85s, and it can also reload the IS-2 as well, so really playing to the strengths of this 29th Tank Corps. P-51D coming in to try and hit the IS-2 from the skies. Gonzo does need some AA in now. The Cobras that he did have gone down. Oh, the bazooka. If it does get into this position, it could get some nasty kills at the start of this game. At the start of this game, at the reinforcement road, it could really get some nasty kills. So the T-34-85s, I think they were trying their luck again against the Jumbo. Does get the transmission damaged, but still doesn't get the kill. Respeka moving around the northern side. Kind of surprised he didn't deal with that M3A1. I think he could have dealt with that unit, but perhaps he didn't want to... In fact, Gonzo, I don't think Gonzo knew it was an M3A1 half-track because he's pushing the Tanko Disaniki back. I think he's assuming it's infantry in this forest. That's a nasty move from this Revedka as well. If that gets into this kind of position, all of those half-tracks could go down there. And US Special John's keeping a lot of his half-tracks back. I often question whether it's better to keep the half-tracks back or to always use them when you've got them. It's a question that I'm not going to answer right now. Oh, look at this. US Special John preparing a push down on the south. There is a T-34-85 that's come in just in the nick of time. Could prove difficult for US Special John to deal with. .12-12, US Special John does pick up the flag once again on the edge of the town. I think it's going to be a tense engagement. Oh, Gonzo does now bring in the Zenart 37mm. I wonder whether he has a commander in his deck. He does have the combat. So I'm kind of... I wouldn't be surprised if a combat comes into this kind of position here. It could really do well to buff up both his infantry up here, his IS-2 and the subsequent tanks that are around it, and the AA. So I really feel like a combat would be a good choice for Gonzo in that position. US Pressure John does make some advances in this centre ground, but Gonzo does have a lot of tanks out right now. And this is coming from the player that the self-confessed kind of... Well, I wouldn't say... What I'm trying to say is this is coming from a player that very much values the infantry kind of spam that has been played up to now. It's coming from a player who has always said that the infantry kind of spam is a tactic that will definitely win you games. But right now, the number of tanks that Gonzo has out really doesn't lead you to show him supporting that conclusion. I guess perhaps it's to do with the fact that I think that Gonzo definitely counterpicked in this matchup. Just the division that's being chosen, and I think that's because the US Armored don't have a lot of infantry. Gonzo doesn't really need to engage in those same kind of infantry on infantry gameplay that we saw. Really bad camera work there, but the P39 doesn't quite get, well, anywhere near a kill onto the M1 gun, but it does severely hamper it with the suppression. Looks like the southern push is now coming through. At the head is that M4A3 E2 Jumbo. It is getting much closer though, and T-3485, oh, P-51D just in the right time. I think forced back that T-3485. I think Gonzo needs to use the APCR. I think at this range, he could definitely use that APCR and get the kills. Looks like US Pressure John going to be successful though, and a very nice push coming forwards. M42 gun in a nice position, actually firing on the half track here though, so it does reveal itself. And the armoured rifles in the half tracks do push forwards, a couple of them unloading, another one just pushing through for surrenders. Trying to pick them up, but he won't do so. The Strokey Conrotti is there in the nick of time. But it does go down, and he should be able to get surrenders now. M3A1 half track pushing all the way forwards here on this southern side. Can't get any more south than this. And really nice play from US Pressure John. T-3485 engaging the M4A3. Oh, but what a kill. Down on that south position. The T-3485 goes down, but we do have an IS-2 in here now. And it's going to be hard for US Pressure John to respond. It looks like I think he wants to push up north from this position and support a push from the northern centre. That's what the P-51 is here to do. Help him achieve that. And yeah, actually ahead of all the engineers pushing forwards as well. Really nice play here from US Pressure John. He's currently 14-10 up, but we are now into C phase, so he's had that income advantage already. And Gonzo's got it once again with that flatline income. M42 guns firing at the M8s. The T-3485 here doing the same. Command M4A1 pushing forwards on fast move. Might actually find himself in a lot of trouble here. I think he's going to go down to the Strokey. Yeah, it does so. Gonzo does pick up the kill there, so bit of a mistake from US Pressure John there. P-51D circling back around, coming in for the strafing run onto the M42 gun. Doesn't quite get the kill, but certainly stresses it out, and the half track there follows up with the kill before going down to the T-3485. Xenon 37 coming in from Gonzo onto the southern side. Gonzo just reacting to US Pressure John's aggression right now. P-51D just not bothered, circling above. And actually the P-39Q should get an easy kill there, yeah. Easy kill. P-51D does come in, try and hit the rifles down here. Ooh, yeah. Oh, but the P-39Q just swoops in for the double kill. A-20C Boston going to return the favour. But the M3A1 half track picks up a number of surrenders there. There was just the IS-2 in his way for US Prester John right now. And I think he's brought in the M4A176s to try and counter this IS-2. I'd like to see them try and fast move down to this southern side and then maybe get a side shot. Gonzo responding, pulling back his IS-2, doesn't want to engage too close. He is running out of those AP shells as well, so he's got to make them count. P-34-85 goes down up north. Armoured Rifles pushing into the forest in the centre, and Prester John gets himself that 15-9. The 76ers do now come into play and will start taking shots at that IS-2. Has Gonzo bought himself enough time with that IS-2? He's only got 3 shots left on it, so he's going to have to do one-shot kills to get rid of all of these tanks. And Prester John's almost got this compound as well. There's a T-34-76 still here, though. Oh, and the P-39Q will hurt US Prester John there. The T-34-85 did take down the half-track. I think US Prester John definitely saves his half-track for this B-phase push and then tries to lead with them. I think that is his kind of tactic that he uses. P-51D did come in to try and bomb that IS-2. Kind of surprised he didn't push forward to try and go for the surrender there. With the M3A1 half-track. I think that's a legitimate possibility, but the IS-2's turning rear armour and does go down to the M4A176s. So IS-2 on the southern side is dealt with, but Gonzo has got a number of infantry units into this town. US Prester John can't push beyond this position though. He has the flag, so he has to push further up north or maintain his position. He has to hold this position down south. 16-8. 10 minutes left for US Prester John to hold on, and I can see him pushing forwards up here in the north now. I think that's where the next lot of investment has to come in, because he can't really make further gains down south. He has to try and hold on to what he's got, but there's no real use in him pushing forwards. This M4A1 could get dastardly close to the Resvedka. I think it's going to happen, guys. This is like Austin Powers when you've got that tractor, what is it, a steamroller, just pushing forwards as slowly as possible, and the guy in the background's like, no! This is exactly what is happening right now. The Resvedka is going to get the kill, but it's just happening so slowly in front of our eyes. And one gun is starting to engage the T-34-85s pushing forwards. It's going to happen. Here it is. Oh, yes. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. That one man with the bazooka there. Yeah, here is US Prester John's counterattack, or it looks like potential counterattack. He's going to try and get those half-tracks in that forest, but it's going to be difficult. I think they're going to get picked off. I don't think any of them are going to get through. I see why he's doing it. Just don't think any of them are going to get through. Maybe they are going to get through. Oh, look at that Resvedka behind enemy lines there. Dirty, dirty position. Looks like 2 of them might get through. Yeah, US Prester John desperately trying to get them into cover, and they are going to get there. And they should pick up the flag. So good work from US Prester John there. 17-7. 7 minutes left on the clock. Definitely gives him a buffer. Really does give him a good buffer here, because I expect he will lose this centre flag. And there's a lot of potential for him to lose this southern flag as well. We do see another IS-2 down into the south. And perhaps even this central compound. So, does give him that buffer. Gonzo has to push back now. We're into C phase. Oh, that Resvedka takes out another one. I think it was perhaps that one there. Ouch, that's 2 Shermans lost to that Resvedka now. I think Gonzo is starting to get enough IS-2s on the field. Certainly in the centre position, that IS-2 is just dominating that entire area. And I think he's going to start to use the Bostons or whatever he's got from the skies. $16-8 to US Pressure John. He has 6 minutes to hold on against Gonzo. Gonzo's got 16 minutes to push back. 6 minutes, yeah. Hopefully I said that right. Looks like the Strokey are forced back, but the IS-2 is getting into the action. Rizvedka pushing forwards out of that position. They see a better one. And Gonzo predicting that the M4A3 is going to come into this light forest here. But instead, US Pressure John just backs it off. Oh, it might go down. Yep, I think it showed side armor there, ever so slightly, went down to that IS-2. So, I think US Pressure John's in a bit of a predicament here. He has to hold on to what he's got, but he also has to worry that Gonzo's eventually just going to mass up so many units behind these IS-2s, and the IS-2s are just going to lead the way, and everything else is going to follow. So, I feel like US Pressure John still does need to keep up the pressure and destroy as many units as he can to stop Gonzo massing up units behind those IS-2s. P-51D just flying so far forwards, and the P-39Q comes in again to get the kill. That's 3 down in this southern side. Oh, is this Rizvedka going to pick off units in those half tracks? Nope, Pressure John does unload them. And they should actually reveal those Rizvedka now. But the central compound is in some trouble here. And if Gonzo just brings an IS-2 down this road, it could be incredibly hard to defend against. I wonder how many he's got, actually. We should check that, but I am just interested in action up north. Looks like the Rizvedka tried to push out into the open, which is a really strange move. I mean, if he sat on the edge of this forest, they must have been able to see the units. So Gonzo did pick up that central flag. We were asking how many IS-2s does he have? Let's answer that question. He's got 4. He's got 4, so they're all out. I'm certain they're all out. One was destroyed in the south. We see the second one here, and there are 2 up north. One here and one here. So every IS-2 is out onto the field. So if Pressure John can take out the tanks, I think he's got this game. I think it's going to be the tanks that save it for Gonzo. That's what it feels like. Oh, look at the tanks being forced back out of this central forest by the Strelky with those AT grenades. Yeah, I was expecting US Pressure John would push them into this position. He's going to push forward with the half tracks once again. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't tried to push them through this open ground here. Sorry, this light forest, rather than leaving them out in the open. Still 16-8. There's 3 minutes left on the clock for Gonzo. He's going to have to start moving, and he's going to have to start moving now, because it takes a while to get these things in motion. But look at the number of forces he has in this southern side, and I think he is now pushing. I think this is the push. He's starting it now. The IS-2 starting to move forward, the T-34-85s, everything's starting to move forwards on this southern side. Looks like a T-34-85 did go down in the centre. He did pick up the flag up north. It's still a 15-9. US Pressure John just wants to hold this 15-9 as long as humanly possible. Really needs to hold the 15-9, but it's back to a 14-10. That gives Gonzo 5 minutes. 5 minutes now. This is going to be a tight one. This is very similar to the previous game as well, where US Pressure John got it down to about 4 minutes, and then he just couldn't secure that last 4-minute tick. Oh, but the number of tanks up on this northern side, there's no defences. There's no defence to the tanks up north. The M1 guns have gone down, and US Pressure John needs something up north, because They're going to break through. They are going to break through. 16-8 to Prester John. 2 minutes. He's recaptured flags. The half-tracks did push into the light forest, capture the flag behind the scenes. He won't have it for long, though. But every moment that he has this 15-9 is just so important to him. SU-57's onto the field. That was an A-phase cars from Gonzo, so it's taken him a very long time to get those out. Infantry just being picked off, but Prester John just has to hold on. It doesn't matter how many troops he loses right now. He just has to hold on for 2 minutes. It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. Oh, but Gonzo picks up the 12-12. Gonzo picks up the 12-12, and that is just so important. Because he can just hold this 12-12 forever. And he will win the game. Prester John has to push back somewhere. He does pick up the 13-11. I think it's this little hill here. But the IS-2 is it's going to do something. Perhaps down here in the south as well. We do have 2 more armoured rifles coming in. Perhaps he can pick that flag up for a moment and hold it. But it's going to have to be 3 moments. 3 moments? 3 minutes of moments. Oh, I think the armoured rifles need to give up, unload, get in that forest, because the T-34-76 is going for the flag. If those armoured rifles don't unload now, US Prester John is in real trouble up on that northern position. Gonzo is going to pick up the flag. The armoured rifles do unload, but is it enough time to get into that forest? Protect the flag? Who knows at this point? 2 minutes left on the clock. Can US Prester John do it? Just one after Cheeky down in the south, but there are some reinforcing Strelky units. Does just pick up the flag. Holds it at 12-12, despite the fact Gonzo picked up the flag up north. After Michiki's pushing through, going to pick up the surrender on the armoured rifles. Gonzo is breaking through the lines up north. Where is US Prester John going to pick this 13-11 up? Especially now Gonzo's picked up another flag somewhere. I think it actually was this one down south. Oh, US, it's looking tough now. It's looking tough. I think it's over. I think Gonzo's managed it. Oh, he's bringing Ogdamachikis down south now as well. He's just going for flags, look, which is exactly what he needs to do. Unload the Ognos. Oh, they do not quite unload. But I don't really see how US Prester John's going to pick up another flag. Looks like the 76 trying to engage the IS-2 there. I think he went for the side shot. Nearly got it. He so nearly got it. Yeah, but he's having to back away. Stroggy might pick up the kill there if they can get into one of these buildings. After Machiki might be going for the kill as well. I think they are going for the kill with the grenades. They're going to just rush at that tank, try and jump out and grenade it. Do not manage it though. Maybe US Prester John will pick up this flag. He has got the 13-11. He does pick up the flag. 1 minute 55 on the clock. Can he somehow hold for a minute 55? The centre ground is looking... Oh, this is tight. This is tight. No, he loses the southern flag once again. I think Gonzo's just going to park an IS-2 on it. The M4A176 is US Prester John's last and final hope. If it can kill the IS-2, this can go to US Prester John. What an important engagement it's going to be between these two tanks. Oh, this is so tight. Maybe it can get around the back. They can't see each other down the alleyways. The M4 knows it's there, though. Oh, it looks like Gonzo's going to try and hit the reinforcements. I think he's got it. He's got the side shot. Doesn't quite hit the first one. Frontal armor turned. Prester John's going for it. All the armored rifles could come in with the bazooka here. I think he's going to get it. He's going to get it with the bazooka. Oh, they unloaded. Further than I was expecting, but the bazooka does have that extra range. Yes, he does get the kill. Maybe the southern side still a possibility. 14-10 to Prester John. There's 1 minute 30 left on the clock. But look at this Sherman. Look at this Sherman. just holding the flag, does get cut off, and he will lose that flag. Desperately needs to control this flag down here on this hill as well. 13, 11, 12, 12. Oh, half track's pushing forward. He's going to pick up the flag once again. This is very, very tight right now. Still a 12-12 though. Gonzo's picked up a flag elsewhere. Just one strokey holding that centre flag, but I think if they went down, he wouldn't lose it. I don't think Gonzo would lose that flag. 13-11 to Gonzo, despite the M4A176 getting the flag here. If he can kill the T-3485, I mean, maybe somehow he could get into that forest, but the income advantage is well against him. And surely Gonzo has more in his deck right now. The M1 gun is just holding this flag. If that goes down... Oh, US Pressure John surrenders. US Pressure John surrenders. He just did not think he could do it. 38 minutes, 34 seconds. What a fantastic finish. Gonzo, congratulations to him. Picks up the victory. 4,600 kills to 3,000 losses. Commiserations to US Pressure John. He fought so hard in this best of 3 matchup against Gonzo, and both games he was just moments, inches, seconds, not quite seconds, minutes from victory. But he did not manage to do it. I feel for him. I really feel for him. But Gonzo just managed to hold on with that flatline income. And we'll see how next season goes for US Pressure John with the income changes. We'll see how he does, because he is a very good Maverick player. And hopefully he can continue to pick up many a victory, make it through to the playoffs, and hopefully we'll see him next season. But Gonzo, through to the final. First man into the final, and he will defend his crown. He was the winner of Season 2. He was victorious, so he will defend the crown next season. Look at that A20C Boston. Just took out a number of units, and M1 guns particularly were very important kills. P39Q15 Cobra almost ace in a day there. Takes out 4 P51Ds with Juboth in that plane. T-3485 is picking up a lot of half-track kills. IS-2 here, picking up a couple of kills. The Jumbo, probably one of the important ones. Another IS-2 down south. T-3485 is just picking off half-tracks, really. And, yeah, there we have it. There we have it. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this matchup. Gonzo makes it through to the final. Join me for more Steel Division League action on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. The dog says good evening as well.